Well, Steve Art's 89. I'm feeling a bit nostalgic and talking about things that have happened in my life. And one of the things that we had was horses when I was growing up. We had 3 horses. My mother and 2 of my sisters had horses. I'm not sure how many horses the family overall owned. I think it was more than that. But when I was growing up, there were 3 of them. We had a black Shetland pony, a white horse, and I don't know what you'd call Ace. He was just sort of orange. Yeah, so it was interesting because one of the good things about it was we had to attend to them every day. We had to go and feed them and check their rugs in the winter and all that sort of stuff, and check their water and their feed and everything, because we were kind of lucky that we didn't have to keep them in a little paddock like most people do, or a stable somewhere that they pay a fortune for. We were lucky enough that our pony club, which our town had a pony club which my mum partly ran. I mean, some people act like they ran it, but really she ran it for years and years, for decades. Didn't get the appreciation she deserved, but that's a whole other story. They basically leased this giant section of land, acres and acres and acres and acres and tens of acres of land, hundreds of acres, I don't know how big it was, just outside of the town. So we had like a little beach and a cove on one side, we had like a rocky beach on the other side, we had gravel pits, we had hills and forests and little lakes and things and ponds, and basically it was just this big wonderland we got to play in every day. Now usually the girls were taking care of the horses, but for those of us who were just visiting, people who were visiting, or for me who kind of went every day because I didn't want to stay home, I guess, but also Mum didn't want to leave me at home by myself, so I'd go out every day. I'd just go off and find things to do, find things to play with, just explore new areas. I'd just go walking in the woods. And it was nice. Like I said, we had our own little beach. We had another little beach on the other side that was all rocks. And I remember when, I'm not going to go into everything, but we just had a lot of fun, and it felt like our own private space, because there were other people who had horses there as well. But that kind of dwindled, and at one point it kind of got down to just us. It really was just our land for a while, and it was just nice to have that land to go to and just be able to just spend the day out with the horses, when things were sort of quiet, or just in summer and you wanted to just go out there for the day. It was just really wonderful. But I unfortunately never got taught to ride the horses. I wanted to, but it was a girl thing. They were my sister's horses, and I did petition that I should be taught how to ride the horses as well. Why should I miss out? Everyone else got to. It's like the family thing. So my sister begrudgingly agreed to teach me. So she took me up to the top of a hill, put me on the horse, and basically just ran down the hill with the other horse. And of course the other horse followed, with me barely holding on, with no instruction. And she just tried to scare me out of it. It didn't scare me, but it was clear that she wasn't actually going to teach me. And she could be told to do it, she wasn't going to do it. So I gave up. And I never learned how to ride properly. I mean, I did kind of know how to ride a horse. I did ride a few times. But I certainly wasn't part of that little girls' club in my family, having a horse or riding horses. So I just had to watch. And that was a chore sometimes. Like, there were times where we had to go to gymkhanas and carnivals and shows, and we'd have to get up at like 5 a.m. in winter. I mean, I'd be having fun out the back, breaking all the ice and, in the water and all that. But eventually I'd have to just go and sit and be quiet while they, rode the horses and got the horses ready and plaited their manes and all that sort of stuff, and do all that stuff and care for them and all that. And I'd just have to sit and play around the back. And there'd usually be some other poor little boy who wasn't allowed to ride as well, and I'd meet him and be friends, and we'd play out the back or something. But a lot of it was that as well. But for the most part, it was just days out, in the, I want to say the woods, because that's how they say it in America, or the forest, but, in the bush in Australia. And like, I made my own pet cemetery there. There was a little area that had a big rope tied from a tree. It looked like a noose. We decided that convicts had used to, be executed there. That was the story we made up for that area. And it really did look kind of like the pet cemetery when some lightning hit and knocked some trees down. We kind of decided that was fate. So I just kept building up on top of those broken trees and made a big sort of area at the back like the pet cemetery had, and we buried all our pets in that area in a circle just like the pet cemetery, and you had to walk down a little path to get to it. And we had little ponds and that where we catch tadpoles and frogs, and we'd always, whenever we saw an injured animal, we'd take it home and nurse it home and then take it back, and there'd be people shooting out there and we had to sort of take care of them and sort of take care of the property and watch all the fences and do all that sort of stuff. My mum, took care of it all and was very responsible about it all, and it was great having that when I was growing up. I sort of wanted to share that because that was an experience. We weren't just sitting at home watching TV all day or going to school. We actually had this other little world to go and explore every day, and I'm really glad about that. And a lot of people don't know that, so I thought I'd share that.